Hello everyone, I'm Oliver, and a warm welcome to day 23 of the 50 Days Software Architecture class. In day 22, we explored bounded contexts and aggregates in domain-driven design to manage complexity with clear boundaries and strong consistency rules. Today, we're taking that foundation further with hexagonal architecture, also known as ports and adapters, a powerful pattern that cleanly decouples your core business logic from external dependencies like databases, APIs, and frameworks. By the end of this session, you'll see how this approach keeps your domain model clean, testable, and truly independent so you can swap technologies without touching your business rules. Let's dive in.
Hello once more, viewers. I'm Anastasia, joined by Irene for day 23 of our progressive 50-day software architecture class, where we continue to refine techniques for building adaptable and maintainable systems. In day 22, we examined bounded contexts and aggregates in DDD to manage complexity, with explicit boundaries around models and clusters enforcing business invariance for consistency and modularity. Today, we're building directly on that foundation by introducing hexagonal architecture, also known as ports and adapters, which provides a powerful way to decouple the core business logic and domain models from external dependencies like databases, web frameworks, or third-party APIs, allowing the heart of your system to remain pure, testable, and independent while adapters handle the messy details of the outside world.
A natural progression, Anastasia. This pattern is the architectural glue that makes DDD models truly portable and resilient, freeing them from infrastructure lock-in and enabling seamless evolution.
Outlining day 23. In greater depth to give you a clear roadmap, hexagonal architecture places the core domain logic at the center, surrounded by ports as interfaces for incoming and outgoing interactions, with adapters providing concrete implementations for external technologies. This structure ensures the business rules remain independent and testable. We'll explore how ports define contracts for use cases and how adapters connect to real-world concerns like databases or UIs. This ties seamlessly to day 22's DDD bounded context for clean module isolation and day 20's cloud-native approaches where containers and orchestration can deploy adapters independently while protecting the core. Why adopt hexagonal architecture in your designs? It fundamentally decouples the core business logic from specific technology choices, allowing you to change databases, frameworks, or APIs without touching domain code. It enhances testability by enabling easy mocking of external adapters during unit tests. It supports long-term evolution as you can swap or upgrade implementations with minimal disruption. This aligns perfectly with day 2's solid principles, particularly dependency inversion, where high-level domain logic depends only on abstractions rather than concrete details. Covering the basics of hexagonal architecture to build a strong mental model. At the center is the core domain with business logic, entities, and use cases kept pure and free of external concerns. Ports are interfaces defining how the core interacts with the outside world, input ports for incoming requests, and output ports for outgoing dependencies. Adapters sit on the edges. Left side adapters handle incoming traffic like web controllers, while right side adapters connect to external systems like databases. The key dependency rule is that all flow points inward. The core depends only on port abstractions, never on concrete adapters. Exploring ports in more detail, input ports represent use cases or application services as interfaces that the core exposes for external callers, defining the what of operations without implementation details. Output ports are abstractions for outgoing dependencies, such as repository interfaces for persistence or notification services. Both serve as contracts that specify behavior clearly, allowing the core to remain agnostic. This design enables easy mocking of ports during tests, ensuring isolated verification of domain logic.
Adapters in detail. Incoming adapters translate external requests, such as HTTP from web frameworks, CLI commands or message listeners from day 9 queues, into calls on input ports. Outgoing adapters implement output ports by connecting to real technologies like databases, external APIs, or file systems, handling translation and error mapping. The beauty is that adapters can be swapped freely, letting you change the database or UI without touching the core domain logic at all. Hexagonal benefits expanded. It dramatically improves testability by allowing you to mock all adapters and focus tests purely on core domain logic. Flexibility shines as adapters can be swapped or added without core changes. Maintainability increases through clear separation of concerns. For scalability from day 16, each adapter or bounded context can scale independently in cloud-native setups. Hexagonal in microservices. Apply the pattern per service, with the core domain surrounded by ports and adapters. Aligns perfectly with day 22 bounded contexts for clear ownership. Communication happens through input-output ports, often via APIs or day 9 events. Deploy in day 20 cloud-native containers for independent scaling and resilience, implementing ports and adapters. Start by defining interfaces for all ports in the core. Ensure the core depends solely on these abstractions. Build concrete adapters that implement the ports, handling external details. Use dependency injection to wire adapters into the core at runtime or startup, keeping everything loosely coupled. Hexagonal best practices. Keep the core pure by avoiding any external imports or frameworks. Depend only on ports. Keep adapters thin with minimal logic, delegating to core. Place use cases in input ports as application services. Test every layer independently, mocking ports or adapters as needed.
Advanced ports and adapters. Distinguish driving adapters from driven adapters. Some implementations use multiple concentric rings for layered decoupling. In DDD from day 22, place aggregates and entities at the core center, with ports defining access. Adapters in Cloud Native containerize each adapter with Docker for portability per day 20. Orchestrate with Kubernetes for scaling and resilience. For serverless from day 10, implement adapters as functions triggered by events. Connect to external services via dedicated API adapters that handle authentication and retries. Hexagonal and DevOps. Use day 19 IAC to define and provision adapters as code. In CI/CD pipelines, test core logic in isolation by mocking adapters. Monitor with day 18 tools, tracking metrics per port for targeted insights. Apply day 13 security at the adapter level for external concerns. Advanced hexagonal best practices. Use anti-corruption adapters for integrating legacy systems without polluting the core. Design outgoing ports to publish domain events for loose coupling. Write contract tests for ports to ensure adapter compliance. The architecture evolves easily by adding new adapters without touching the core. Hexagonal challenges. Initial overhead from defining many interfaces and adapters can slow early development. Performance may incur minor costs from translation layers between core and adapters. Teams face a learning curve in grasping the inversion. Avoid over-abstraction by keeping ports purposeful and not creating them unnecessarily.
Ports and adapters in microservices. Apply hexagonal per service with a clean core. Use ports for communication via gRPC or day 8 REST. Fits day. 22 bounded contexts for clear ownership. Scale by replicating adapters independently. Advanced hexagonal patterns. Support multiple adapters per port for different technologies. Use gateway adapters to aggregate external concerns. Combine with day 24 CQRS by having separate read and write ports. Integrate event-driven adapters from day 9 for asynchronous outgoing interactions. Common hexagonal pitfalls. Leaky abstractions allow external details to bleed into the core. Anemic ports with too little definition reduce value. Adapter bloat adds unnecessary logic outside the core. Ignoring performance from translation layers can create hidden bottlenecks.
Recapping day 23, we introduced hexagonal architecture for decoupling core domain logic from external dependencies.
Detailed ports as contracts and adapters as implementations, with advanced patterns, integration, and pitfalls. The key takeaway: hexagonal architecture keeps your core logic independent, testable, and focused on business value.
Welcome to day 23 of our 50 Days Software Architecture class on YouTube. Today, We're diving deep into hexagonal architecture, also known as ports and adapters, a pattern that structures applications to keep core domain logic insulated from external concerns. This powerful design pattern was introduced by Alistair Cockburn in his 2005 article Hexagonal Architecture, Context-Independent Application Architecture, and it effectively decouples the core application logic from external dependencies like databases, UIs, or APIs through well-defined interfaces. At its heart, hexagonal architecture insulates your business rules, entities, use cases, and domain models, such as those from day 20 seconds bounded contexts and aggregates, from infrastructure concerns like databases, APIs, or user interfaces, ensuring the core remains pure and tech-agnostic. This approach creates highly testable, flexible, and maintainable systems that can evolve independently, perfectly aligning with solid principles, especially the dependency inversion principle from day 2, where high-level modules don't depend on low-level ones. The core components include the hexagon core, also called the domain or application layer, which contains your business rules, entities, use cases, and domain models, completely free from direct tech dependencies like SQL databases or HTTP frameworks. Ports are interfaces that define clear contracts for both inbound or driving interactions, like user actions through a use case port, and outbound or driven interactions, such as data access via a repository port, typically numbering 4 to 8 per bounded context. Driving ports handle incoming user actions, such as REST API calls or CLI inputs, while driven ports manage outbound needs like data persistence to databases or calls to external services like email providers. Adapters are the concrete implementations that plug into these ports, acting as customizable bridges between your hexagon core and the outside world, much like industrial plugs or docking stations. For example, driving adapters like a REST controller initiate interactions with the core's use cases, while driven adapters, such as a JPA repository for database access, fulfill requests from the core to persist data or fetch records. A key benefit is that adapters can be easily swapped out, for instance replacing a MySQL database adapter with a MongoDB one, without touching or altering the core logic, enabling seamless technology upgrades. This setup enforces dependency inversion, as described by Robert C. Martin, where the core depends on stable abstractions via ports, rather than volatile concrete implementations, fully aligning with solid principles. One of the most significant advantages is enhanced testability, allowing the core to be tested in complete isolation using mock adapters, achieving 100% unit test coverage without real databases or external services. Studies and real-world projects show this leads to 3 to 5 times faster tests. For example, 200 milliseconds for hexagonal core tests, versus over 1 second for integrated database tests. Boosting development velocity. Flexibility shines through support for multiple UIs, like web and mobile, or various databases. Netflix, for example, employed similar patterns across its 1,000-plus microservices architecture to handle diverse integrations. Maintainability improves dramatically with an ideal code distribution of 70 to 80% residing in the stable core logic, and only 20 to 30% in the peripheral adapters, concentrating business value centrally. This pattern promotes evolvability, keeping the core stable and unchanged while adapters morph to integrate with new technologies, such as evolving from monoliths to microservices in a 12-week refactoring. Hexagonal architecture integrates seamlessly with cloud-native concepts from day 20, using ports and adapters for containerized services, like those in Kubernetes clusters, enabling scalable deployments. It builds directly on day 22's discussion of bounded contexts and aggregates from domain-driven design, where each bounded context functions effectively as a self-contained hexagon core with its own ports. This architecture aligns perfectly with day 2's focus on solid principles, particularly the dependency inversion principle, by reversing traditional dependency flows through ports and adapters. In summary, hexagonal architecture offers a robust framework for building adaptable, maintainable, and highly testable software systems, adopted in over 40% of enterprise Java projects according to 2023 surveys. By isolating your core logic from external concerns through well-defined ports and adapters, you ensure applications can evolve with changing requirements, reducing coupling by up to 60% per dependency metrics. Thank you for joining us for day 23 of the 50 Days Software Architecture class. We hope this deep dive into hexagonal architecture equips you to design cleaner, more resilient systems for real-world scenarios like e-commerce order services.
Day 24 covers the CQRS pattern for separating reads and writes.
For homework, take a small existing application or service and refactor it toward hexagonal architecture by introducing ports and adapters. Questions from today? Drop them in the comments. Irene and I will reply with detailed guidance. Thanks so much for your dedication. If this helped, give it a like, share with others, and subscribe to keep learning with us.